Okay, Chubby me, are you there? Chubby me, are you there? My first thing would be he's greedy, and initially I don't think that was his threat, but as time goes on and he realized what he's going to lose, like losing the property. So I think that is why he changed his words and started, condemning Liam and the mom. And for the wedding thing, he has to do the same because of the people that are bankrolling him. You know what? You have to deny all those things so that you can be, you can get all this to yourself, all this entitlement thing that is in his brain. So that's my own answer. Yeah. Dipsy.
I'll start from the third question. At first, he accepted Liam as a grandfather, as a grandchild, not knowing what is coming ahead of him. Then I think for the engagement that it turns to, it was calling introduction. People to actually know that they were married traditionally, not because of his creed. He's a greedy man. All he wants is all the property to himself. That's what I think.
Benevolence.
Yeah, you see, Josie, like Pythagoras said earlier on that he thought maybe it's something that you can just cash out of it and see some idiots that you surround him tell him that, oh, actually you can do this for a very long time. So for whatever Josie is doing, is a script. I'm telling you, it's a script. For every step, there's a script waiting to play out. So him denying Liam is part of the script, and it still boils down to greed. And greed is one of the 7 deadly sins in the world. Once you have it, you are gone. So he's greedy, and unfortunately, there's no cure for his greed. And he will keep going until he dig himself, and he's digging himself in a pit. So he doesn't care whatever comes out of it. It's just pure greed. That's it.
Sister Belfie, are you there now?
Yes, I'm here. So for me, I think to the first question, I think there's no other reason than Baba Mohbad just wanting to water down the fact that his son is actually married to Momi. And like that's why, he came up with all of these conspiracy theories around. It was just an introduction, and then they turned it into a wedding and into an engagement and this and that. Bottom line is Baba Mohbad just wanted to convince the public so much that his son was not married to Wunmi. Remember that he also told us that even his son was told that it's just an introduction until they got to the Wunmi's family house. Then he realized that it was an engagement. All of this is just to discredit Wunmi. All of this is just to make Wunmi look like, she's not married, she's not our wife. It was just an introduction. We've not paid our dowry and all of that. Emma Penny to Bank Paro, low good, low few bone paro to make sense. Unfortunately for him, people who heard him, we did our investigation. We actually found out all of that was a lie. So that's that. All of that is just to make Wunmi look like she's irrelevant when it comes to Mohbad, whatever Mohbad had or whatever belongs to Mohbad. Like she's just a baby mama. Let's make it and let's just say like that. The second question was why is tagging Liam illegitimate? If I'm quite correct, am I correct? Is that the second question? Dukia?
Yes, please, you're correct.
I'm going to link the second question to the first question. Both the first and second question are pretty much the same. The only reason Baba Mohbad is doing that is because when it comes to the estates and the royalties and the wealth of Mohbad, the only threat Baba has right now is Liam. As we all know, Liam is the, sole inheritance of everything that Mohbad has. And who is that one person that is stopping Baba Mohbad from getting everything is Liam. And I've said this from the beginning. I've said Liam is the target. Everything they're saying about me is not really about me. It was all about Liam from the beginning. They started with, oh, it was just an introduction. They're not legally married, blah, blah, blah. Then they went on to Liam. Don't forget that they just didn't go straight to Liam. They first did all of that, dragging with Wumi. And they eventually got to their main point, which is Liam. The only reason Baba is saying all of this now is because Liam is the only truth. Liam is the rightful owner of everything that Mohbad has. So for them, they will do anything to paint him to paint him, to paint him whatever they can. To tell themselves, let me tell you one thing about liars. When they tell certain lies, they convince themselves, this my lie is the truth. Baba Mohbad himself has gotten to that point where he has convinced himself that his lie has become the truth in his head. He's living in another Delulu world. I can never understand what's happening in his head and what he's thinking. So that's the only reason. That's the only sense that I can make, of this. And then you asked us, why was he dancing at Liam's naming? And I asked you, why not? You've seen him now. Baba Tomo wà ní burial ní mortuary. Ọmọ ẹ̀ tó ti là. Let's even go from the beginning. Baba tó gbọ́ ọmọ ẹ̀ tó sáré sin ọmọ ẹ̀ bó ṣe sin yẹn. Tó sin ọmọ ẹ̀ bí ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ ò bí kangaroo tí mọ́tò gbá lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan tó kọ̀ lọ sin pé ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ bò mọ́lẹ̀. Baba tó tún wá exhume ọmọ ẹ̀ tán. Tó wà lójú ayé ẹ̀ tó la ọmọ ẹ̀. Tó dẹ̀ subject ọmọ ẹ̀ sí this much ridicule. From the day they put that boy down, ni Baba yìí ló ti ń shame ọmọ ẹ̀. Baba eating shame on from the day to sílẹ̀. This man is not even bothered that Blessing had to stand there and watch his brother, our brother, get caught open to get samples to carry out, tests and all of that on him. The trauma that the Blessing herself would have passed through to actually stand there and witness your brother, the Don Shekikere, come and, chook a knife through him. Just to get samples. Baba tí ò kí ẹ̀. Baba tó wọṣọ ọmọ ẹ̀. Baba tó fi òkú ọmọ ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ nísàlẹ̀ tó gun staircase lọ sókè. Tó lóun lọ wo ibi tóun àtọmọ òun ti máa ń jókòó tó ti máa ń sọ̀rọ̀. You are now asking why that Baba was dancing on his grandson's kidney and now he's coming online to say it's not his grandson. For him, he's just there for the good life. And don't forget that even Iya Mohbad said on the day of the naming, after the naming was done at Mohbad's place, Baba still insisted. Baba was adamant on having his own party done at Sikorodu. And Iya Mohbad said he requested for a certain amount of money. And they said, when they asked, so they had to give Josie money to go home and do it. It's all about the good life. He actually doesn't give two fucks about anybody. Boya Mohbad, Boya Liam, Boya Liwumi. Baba actually, he doesn't care. It's all about the good life. For him right now, this is my retirement plan. This is where I can get whatever I can from. I don't care who I chuck under the bus. I don't care who goes. But for me, I need what I can, whatever I can gather to just, sort myself out. So for me, that's just my answer. Thanks.
Thank you, Sister Befe. Pythagoras, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. So before I go into the answers of those questions, let me add more questions to what Dawah was saying earlier. So why was this? Why were they being pressurized to have a baby? What's the rush all about? Why is Josie pressurizing this so new couple to get to have a baby? So we can add more questions to that, like, could it be that he wanted to use the baby for Irapada? That's for the redemption. Is the baby for Mohbad's redemption or for his own redemption himself? Was he on the verge of death and he needed something from himself, something, a very vital part of himself, a glorious son, and he thought, okay, instead of sacrificing this glorious son, why not get an offspring from him and use that instead? That's one question. Was the placenta for that Irapada? Is that what they wanted to use the placenta for? Is that why he was so keen on making sure it gets the placenta? These are questions maybe Mr. Aloba can give us some answers to. Because it baffles me, it baffles anybody with logical thinking. Why you would pressurize a 23-year-old girl, a 26 or 27 years old boy to having a baby without any medical history of infertility? There must be something more to that. These questions he needs to answer. Or did they come to him and say, oh, we need to have a baby by all means? What was the cloth he was requesting for? What was that for? Or did all these things just backfire? Was he on a spiritual journey for the sake of this boy? Let him come out and tell us. Maybe we'll understand. And something backfired. He should tell us this thing. But now let's go back to the question. Why was he downgrading the marriage of Umi and Mohbad? Ignorant, all you think about is what you want to gain. You don't think about what the standard is, what the culture is, what the law is. So he was oblivion of the fact that a marriage is a marriage, regardless of the manner with which it was conducted. If it's a marriage, it's a marriage. If it's not a marriage, it's not a marriage. And that is very clear. In our culture, in our law, it is clear. In case you're looking for the law that says that in the Supreme Court ruling of Agbeja versus Agbeja in 1985, the Supreme Court justice established 3 criteria for a valid cultural or customary marriage of the Yoruba people. 3 key elements. If there's a dowry, if there's a handover of the bride to the groom, and if there is a witness, not even 2, not even 3 witnesses, if there is a witness, once those 3 elements are present, you have a valid marriage under the Yoruba custom.
Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel.
Customary issue or customary law is a matter of fact, and it requires evidential proof. That is, you need proof if you're talking about customary law and customary matter. But he now said it ceases to be that if it has received a judicial recognition. Once there's a judicial pronouncement on a particular aspect of the custom, you no longer require any proof. Anybody trying to unseat that particular notion, that particular pronouncement, will now be the one bringing in proof. And this matter has received a judicial recognition under that pronouncement in Agbeja versus Agbeja in 1985, that you need just 3 elements. You don't need a certificate. You don't need any elaborate wedding. All you need is paying of dowry, handing over of the bride to the groom, and you need a witness. If these 3 things are there, there is a marriage. A marriage has taken place. So he was not well advised about this. And that's why he thought he could downgrade the marriage, he could water down the marriage. And when he failed, he moved to the next one. That's why he was putting the paternity of the boy into question. Again, he was ignorant of the law, ignorant of our custom, ignorant of our environment, because he was blinded by his own greed. He was blinded by all he wanted. Again, if you go through our constitution, the 1999 constitution, section 42, I believe subsection 2 of it says, no citizen of Nigeria will suffer any form of deprivation. I'm rephrasing here. We suffer any form of deprivation by reason of circumstances surrounding their birth. Nobody can deprive you of your entitlement because you were born, whether in wedlock, out of wedlock, born under this condition, or under that condition. Bamidele in 1965. This is also a judicial pronouncement, and it's a legal precedent. Nobody can unseat it until another Supreme Court now said, no, that ruling was wrong. So it is a law also, in case people are asking. In Adeyemi versus Bamidele of 1965, a child is legitimate if he or she was acknowledged by their natural father. Forget whether Nataye Bonham or Nakende Bonham. If a child was recognized by their natural father, that child becomes legitimate. So what is acknowledgement? That's number one. The ruling identifies 3 types of acknowledgement. If you perform the naming ceremony of that child, number one, pay their mother's maternity bill. That's another way of acknowledging the child. And the third one, if you have an acknowledgement contained in a letter, maybe a will or something, or just a letter saying, no, this child is mine, like a birth certificate, that is an acknowledgement too. So if you see these 3 types of acknowledgement, you can easily link it with Mohbad acknowledging this boy. So I will not even entertain any form of discussion whether, oh, the child is Mohbad gave birth to the child biologically or not. I don't care. The law says that is Mohbad's son. So Baba failed there too. And the third reason why he was trying so much to water down the marriage and fight the paternity of this boy, we all know, is because of the property. It's because of succession. And the law is also clear. Our custom is also clear that the Dawudu becomes the head of the family when the deceased passed. And who is the Dawudu under the Yoruba custom? It is the first male child of the deceased. So who is the first male child of this person? It is Liam. So he has not been properly advised on his venture, on his campaign. Because if he had been, maybe he would have followed another process, another way to fight this battle. And of course, why was he dancing at the naming ceremony? He was not thinking of this situation then. Because before then, the family was under his grasp. If Baba says this, you dare not. If he says this how you want it, you dare not. For him to pressurize a young lady that was still enjoying her life, and a young boy that was still enjoying his fame, pressurizing them into having a child, you know that it's because he has a very huge say over them. Otherwise, I know the ladies, the girls of nowadays, 22, 23, yes, maybe they want to get married, but not to have child yet. They still want to keep their perfect shape. They still want to go to the club and do all those things, all this youthful exuberance. They still want that. But for him to succeed in making sure they go down that family route that, okay, you have to have the baby now, you will know that the family is under his firm control. That was why he was dancing. It was like an accomplishment for him. His plans were coming to actualization. He wanted the child, he wanted the placenta, he wanted all these things for a reason. Of course, with his co-planner, Mama Lolade. I believe I've answered these 3 questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Pythagoras. I'll quickly go to Freedom. Are you there? Did you hear the questions? Freedom.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
I heard the question, but really, after all said by everyone, what more do I want to add? Especially the extensive part that Pythagoras just did. You know, maybe the only other thing I could add is that Juicy is actually mean, he's ambitious, but he's not intelligent or smart. So yes, some of the metamorphoses we've seen in his maybe utterance, in his behavior, are not actually originally from him. Yes, they found a fertile ground in who he is, you know. So the case of Josie is just like someone who has an ambition but doesn't know how to achieve it, how to realize it. Then suddenly he found himself on the other side of the internet with people who have such traits like him, who could tell him, oh, you know, because initially we had all the while, for those of us who heard how he transformed from, oh, I'm not asking for DNA, it's Nigerians, it's because the Nigerians all over the world are asking. There was even a part where he said by himself that Mo never denied his child while he was alive. I heard that myself even yesterday. So that sort of give me that idea that though at that, they still try to water it down. But it is still what it is. Dowry was exchanged. There were witnesses. He even told us there were 10 jeeps that went. He even gave us costs to 200 each, that they spent 2 million. So that is marriage. Why he wants to downplay it is as obvious as he wants to actualize. He wants what he wants, and he has enablers all over the internet. Then why he danced? Of course, Josie is a narcissist, and when things are going their way, you know, they are happy. He wanted them to have a baby for whatever reasons, and that has happened, and he's dancing. Of course, he asked for money. Omawumi has transferred the money that was even gifted her to him to say, just take it. And, you know, that alone is excitement for him. He is having his way. But now that he's not having his way, that's why we're seeing all these tantrums, all this, even, you know, his latest opera yesterday is still a characteristics of a narcissist. And I hope that I've been able to answer in my own way, in addition to what everyone has said. Thank you.
Thank you, Freedom.
Thank you very much. Mr. Dawah, you can go on now.
Okay, yes, yes. Before Mr. Dawah, before you start, the Georgia Power Tap, we have over 400, and we are just at 204. Can we power tap some more, please?
Okay, guys. Please let's power tap. Let's power tap. Let's encourage the panelists. You can see we're not doing things uneducational here. We're talking with proofs, with evidence. We're talking from things that are actually educational. You're learning a lot, and you're actually seeing some things that you might not have heard before. So please let's just encourage the panelists here to do more by actually power tapping. Now, my intention is not to make this live very long, because some people are actually streaming on various platforms, Instagram and Facebook, and I don't know where. Some are even recording to save it for further playing. So let's limit ourselves to the next 53 minutes. By 3 p.m. we should end the discussion, and whoever wants to just come up could just come up and say one or two things. Now, there's a reason why I'm dragging Wumi this evening. There's a reason why I'm actually dragging her. Like I said, I was expecting petitions to be flying from Thursday, but none has been out so far. None has been out so far, except Baba coming out on, was it on Friday, on Buki's JC's platform. And he did what in psychology we called reverse psychology. Let me just explain what reverse psychology is. Reverse psychology is actually a manipulation technique that involves getting people to do something by prompting them to do the opposite. For example, you have your mom or your dad, they might use this kind of term on you. They will say, you probably won't be able to eat all this, you won't be able to eat all this rice. What they're actually telling you is that, don't finish it. That's the meaning. So what Baba actually did was trying to use the public mentality, the public space, in trying to push all these narrations towards Darosha, knowing that he is actually guilty of the crime. He's actually guilty of some crimes that right now I'm going to want my moderator. Once I finish, I would want the first person to address this issue to be Pythagoras, because he's learned in law, and I'm going to make some quotations actually from the Lagos State Coronary Law and also from the Nigerian Constitution. So we're going to see how Baba is actually guilty and where we want Wunmi to attack from. If she's willing to seek for justice, if she's willing to clear her name from all manners of guilt, these are the areas, since the toxicology has failed to give us a closure, we're going to talk about that. I don't know if my panelists will be around tomorrow. We could pick after church hours that we're going to take this also for 2 hours. We're going to talk about the toxicology results, what we think about them, what way forward, and the remaining questions that have not been put forward. Why are we dragging women in such manner? Why do we need her to come forth with all legal arsenals, against people that have defamed her personality? Now, I've talked about that. Now, it was said that Baba actually wrote a petition to Zone 2 asking Darosha why he embalmed Mohbad. And this has actually been debunked by the toxicology results, that no embalmment was done on the deceased. That in fact, if embalmment had occurred, that the toxicology results could have been better than what was actually read. Yes, this was what the pathologist said. And that's the pathologist. Hold on, I have his name. That's Professor Shokunle Shoyemi. Professor Shokunle Shoyemi of Lasut. That was all he read out. And we know that we're going to examine the type of toxicology they actually did on the deceased. They talked about they took samples of the bone marrow, kidney, and liver. So I actually had done my investigation of what kind of toxicology can be done on the bone marrow, kidney, and liver, and why were we having an inconclusive or cause of death to be unascertained. So now let's forge ahead. Let's forge ahead. Now, the petition Baba wrote, we are now addressing Wumi and Darusha. I don't know if you're on this live or if this message would get to you. We would not sit and waste our data for a whole 8 months, and you have the chance to now attack Baba, who does not mind your imprisonment. He doesn't mind you guys being imprisoned. Even Adura, his son, even Mama Mohbad, his ex-wife, he doesn't mind anybody going to prison. So let us now say, the first thing he said, he doesn't mind anybody. Now he shouldn't mind if he himself faces Kirikiri, if he himself is imprisoned in this, because he's actually guilty of some issues. He's the one that brought us here, that he buried the evidence. He buried the evidence and didn't allow Nigerians a closure to this issue. He has wasted taxpayers' money. He has wasted the time of our Honorable Governor Babatunde Fashola, who has instituted our taxpayers' money. He has brought it forth for the payment of a coroner inquest and also the autopsy of Mohbad. And Baba in his statement said once the DNA is done, the next day is going to tell you who fight Mohbad. And yesterday he had the effrontery. He had the effrontery to say that it was the boyfriends. And I'm watching. Wumi, what are you doing? If Baba knows your boyfriends, then you should tell him he should be questioned. He should be questioned. He should be taken into account for those statements. That it was your boyfriend and Sam Larry that were beaten. And we have videos of what happened at Lekki at that nightclub. We have the likes of Elele and we have the likes of Obeli with Sam Larry there. Naira Marley left that club. We have their video, we have the evidences, and we know it with the police. So I don't know why you are sitting quiet since Wednesday after the toxicology was read, and you've not done anything concerning what your father-in-law said on Friday. I believe on Monday, first thing on Monday, you will remember that carried out the buying of Mohbad. If you believe that you want to know the cause of your, go and meet those people. Sam Larry should also now be questioned because Baba called his name there. They said Sam Larry and your boyfriends. So if you know you have a boyfriend, bring his name out. If he's Elele or Billy that is your boyfriend, let them come and face Zone 2. Let them come and face the AIG. Petition all of them. And if indeed you don't have a boyfriend like Baba has been claiming, sue him for defamation of character. Let him pay millions for that odd statement, speaking without knowing the legal implications of his statement. We don't want you to sit quiet anymore. We don't want that from you. We are not asking you to come to social media, but we are telling you that fight with the law. Start attacking with the law. Let's look at what Baba has been doing. He petitioned Darusha that Darusha embalmed Mohbad. The petition was citing the coronary law of Lagos State, Section 16 and Section 48, subsection 1. It states, Section 16 states, tampering with bodies. There shall be no tampering with the body of a deceased person found lying within a coroner's district, the way of chemical preservation, dismemberment, or disposal by any form, prior to the conduct of a post-mortem examination, except by the prior authorization of the medical examiner. 1. In this, we know there was no approval or authorization by any medical examiner. That's number 1. Number 2, it was done in the coronary districts of Lagos State. Okay, it was done in Lagos State. Now, 1, Darusha has been cleared that there was no tampering of the body with any chemical preservation. That is embalmment. Was there dismemberment? The autopsy results confirmed that there was no breaking of neck or the legs, that it was only bent. That has been cleared. But there was there disposal of the body in any form? Yes, there was a burial. When you talk about disposal, the bodies can be disposed in various forms. 1, burial. 2, cremation. 3, burning. And 4, use of acid. Those are ways in which you could actually dispose. We also have one, vaporization. I don't know how that occurs. I've heard about that before. I don't know. Now, if all this had happened, that there is a disposal, but there was no chemical preservation. Why is Darusha keeping quiet after Thursday without counter-suing or counter-petitioning Mr. Aloba? Mr. Aloba now came on Friday trying to use what we call reverse psychology on Nigerians for us to start questioning Darusha, for us to start gunning for Darusha, but he never knew. In the CTC, which I am going to read very, very soon, he was the person that said himself that he instructed Darusha. He was the person that instructed him to get an ambulance. He was also the person that instructed them to bury him somewhere. He pointed where he was going to be buried. He pointed where they were going to bury him. Now I have read section 16. I'm still going to go to CTC to point out where Baba is. He actually said his deposition that what he wrote down is acceptable as his own evidence. I'm going to show you that and where he actually instructed them to get an ambulance and also to bury. So that is section 16. We're going to section 48. Pythagoras, I know you are taking notes and I know you're going to give us submissions because I have a question after this. Section 48, subsection 1 says, offenses and penalties. Any person who, section 1 now, subsection 1 now, carries out chemical preservation, dismemberment, or disposal of the body of a person who died in circumstances requiring the holding of an inquest under this law without the approval of a coroner shall commit an offense and is liable or conviction to 15 years imprisonment with no option of fine. Who buried Mohbad? Who instructed the burial of Mohbad? We're going to go through the CTC now. And we're going to see the one who instructed them to get an ambulance and who instructed them to bury this boy. He's not a boy, sorry, he's a man. Let's go. I'm going to be, for those that now have the CTC with them, because this is now a public material, so it is not classified because some people have called it 2 naira, that you can get 5 copies for 2 naira. Now, if you go to page 26 of page 27 of page 330, he was examined. It says, question, please tell this court your full name. Baba, my name is Joseph Aloba Oluwabamiwo. Where do you live, sir? Question, Baba, I live at number 8 Sele bus stop, Okiletu, Ikorodu. Question, what do you do for a living? Baba, I am a carpenter. Question, do you remember on the 25th day of October 2023, you deposed a written deposition on oath before this court? Do you remember? Baba, yes. Question, if you see the said written deposition, can you recognize it? Baba, yes. Question, please take a look at this copy. Baba, reviews documents. Question, is this your written deposition? Baba, yes. Question, look at the signature. Is that your signature? Baba, it is mine. Question, what do you want to do with that document? Baba, I want it to be adopted as my evidence before these courts. Now we can see that not only did Baba give a testimony at the coroner inquest, he had a written deposition before the coroner inquest, that day of coroner inquest. So now let us go to where this is in page 28 of page 330. Between pages 27 and page 28, that is where he said what he wrote down, he is accepting it as evidence. Now, let us now go to where he actually instructed for the ambulance and for also the burial. Now we're going to go to page 39. Page 39 of 330. Page 39. Let me read. It says, okay, it says, let me go to the first question, a question before then. Okay. Question, do you know the day that the deceased died? Baba, Yes, 12th of September. Question, how did you know? Baba, I got to know around 9:30 p.m. Baba, on that 12th September, question, on that 12th September, Baba, yes, they were calling me that he was okay and I should go back home. And I noticed that the tone of the conversation, so I wanted to know what was happening, and by 9:30, I met body on the floor and they had blocked the nose and ears. Question, the very first call you got with respect to the deceased, what information were you given? Baba, the call was from his mom, and she said Mohbad was in the hospital, and they said we should come. But the way she sounded, I said something was wrong, and she called me around 4:30 to 5 in the evening. Question, the mother does not live with you? Baba, no. Question, was the mother living with the deceased? Baba, no. Question, did you go to the hospital? Baba shakes head side to side. Question, tell us what happened. Baba, on that very day, when I saw that his body was on the ground, I asked, what happened to him? Was he sick? Question, you got there and you saw the body already dead? Baba, yes. They said they had given him injection and injection reacted on his body, and that was the comment given to me by his wife. Question, you saw the dead body? Baba, yes, at the sitting room in the house. Before, under the staircase now. Nígbà tí Baba dé corona, sitting room the Baba changes you, and that is the truth. Question, the house at Agungi, Baba, they had changed from Agungi again to another apartment. Question, what is the address? Go on, when you remember, tell us, you met the body at the house? Baba, yes. Question, and you told us the nose was already blocked? Baba, yes. Question, who blocked the nose? With what? Baba, with cotton wool. Baba, question, who did that? Listen, who blocked the nose with what? Baba, with cotton wool. Question, who did that? Baba, I don't know. Ibalo did Arusha. We have a video, don't worry. I'll show you the evidence. Who did that? I don't know. Question, who certified him dead? Baba, I don't know who said it, but they were deceiving me on the phone that he was all right and I should go back home. Firstly, they said I should come to one hospital at Osaka, London. And when I got to the bus stop, I was at Osaka, London now. Told that I should go back home, that he was all right. But what I had heard before didn't make me believe, and I wanted to see him. When I got there at 9:30 p.m., I met his dead body on the floor. Question, have you seen the death certificate? Yesterday. Washington said death certificate wa pẹ̀lú ìyàwó. Ẹ máa gbọ́. Question, have you seen the death certificate? Baba, no. Question, so you do not know the cause of death? Baba, not head up and down. Question, this was 12th of September 2023. Baba, not heads up and down. Question, who were the people you met in the house? Baba, the people I met there were up to 100. Let me mention them. I met Anya, a musician. I met Davido's representative, Zlatan, and many more. The crowd was full up there, and Mohbad's lawyer. Everyone was there. They had heard, but I did not hear anything. Question, you don't know who prepared the body? Listen, question, you don't know who prepared the body? Baba, I do not know. I'm repeating this question again. Question, you don't know who prepared the body? Baba, I do not know. But I know his wife will be able to explain because she was there. The court, and you did not make inquiry. Baba, at all, they did not call me. The court, you did not do your findings. Baba, I did not do any finding. Please, Pythagoras, please unblock yourself, unmute yourself. Are you listening?
Yes, I'm here.
Did you listen to Baba's interview with Buki yesterday when he was trying to pin everything on Darosha?
Yeah, I listened to it.
Now you can see that the CTC is actually contrary to whatever he was saying yesterday.
He's a pathological liar.
No problem. Let me continue reading. So I just want you to follow me, and you see the differences. I'll read again. Question. You don't know who prepared the body. Baba, I do not know, but I know his wife will be able to explain because she was there. The court. And you did not make any inquiry. Baba, at all. They did not call me. The court. You did not do your findings. Baba, I did not do any finding. The court. You saw your son lying down there and you did not ask any question. Baba, the question I asked was what happened, what led to his death, and they said it was the reaction of the injection given to him. Mr. A.A. George, where was the deceased buried? Baba, he was buried at Berigbe. Question, who buried him? Baba, I was the one who pointed that they should bury him there. Question, Berigbe again, who buried him? Baba, I was the one who pointed that they should bury him there. Question, Berigbe is in Ikorodu here? Baba, yes. Question, the house where you saw the corpse was in Lekki? Baba, yes. Question, so who moved the body to Berigbe? Baba, on that night, Davido's representative sent money to me. And I gave it to one of his followers. One of them that follows Mohbad. He received the money and I instructed him to call ambulance. Oh, Dukia, please, I don't know who has that recording of Baba with Buki Jesse. He said he doesn't know anything, that it was Darusha that arranged the ambulance. In the CTC, in his testimony at the coroner inquest, look at the question again. Question, so who moved the body to Berigbe? Baba, on that night, Davido's representative sent money to me and I gave it to one of his followers. One of them that follows Mohbad, he received the money and I instructed him to call ambulance. After calling the ambulance, luckily the ambulance man was a doctor also, and he checked and we decided to go to the police station and we spent like 3 hours at the police station. Now we have cleared two things. Baba instructed the movement of the evidence by telling Darusha, instructing Darusha to get an ambulance. Baba was also the one that instructed them to bury him so and so place. According to the Coronal Law of Lagos State, that is a crime subject to 15 years imprisonment. Wumi, if you are not a daft person, your father-in-law is doing everything possible for you to be held for murder charges. It is now time for you to attack back with the law. Your father-in-law has evidences, not your own evidence. The coroner inquest has heard evidences from him. He has signed a disposition. He also said with his mouth, orally, that he was the person that instructed Darusha. What are you waiting for? Now, that's about the CTC. There are also some offenses by Baba. I am coming to the question to Pythagoras. The next thing is this. According to section 246 of the Criminal Code Act, Cap 17, Law of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, it states thus: any person who, without the consent of the president or the governor, buries or attempts to bury any corpse in any home, building or premises, yard, garden, compound, or within 100 yards of any dwelling house or any open space situated within a township is guilty of a misdemeanor and is liable to imprisonment for 6 months. We have 15 years. We have 6 months. Let's go ahead. Another one. Felony charges. Offenses are of 3 kinds, namely, I'm reading Section 3 of the Criminal Code Act in Nigeria. Division of offenses. Offenses are of 3 kinds, namely felony, misdemeanor, and simple offenses. A felony is any offense which is declared by law to be a felony or is punishable without proof of previous conviction, with death or with imprisonment for 3 years or more. A misdemeanor is any offense which is declared by law to be a misdemeanor or is punishable by imprisonment for not less than 6 months but not less than 3 years. All offenses other than felonies and misdemeanor are simple offenses. Why did I bring this one up? Sorry. Why did I bring that one up? Oh, okay. Now, Section 509 of the Criminal Code Act in Nigeria, punishment of attempts to commit felonies. Any person who attempts to commit a felony, when felony is mentioned, it means lying. Just because you want the conviction of another person. Any person who attempts to commit a felony of such a kind that a person convicted of, it is liable to the punishment of death or of imprisonment for a term of 14 years or upwards, with or without other punishments, is guilty of a felony and is liable, if no other punishment is provided, to imprisonment for 7 years. 7 plus 15 plus 6 months. Any person who attempts to commit a felony of any other kind is liable, if no other punishment is provided, to a punishment equal to 1/2 of the greatest punishments which an offender convicted of the felony which he attempted to commit is liable. This is Section 509 of the Criminal Code Act in Nigeria. Lastly, according to Section 117 of the Criminal Code Act in Nigeria, we have what is called perjury. Any person... Sorry, this is the last one, Pythagoras. Any person who in any judicial proceeding, please let us listen carefully. We already have 15 years, we have 7 years, we have 15 years for him burying burying Mohbad without a post-mortem examination. That's 15 years. We have 7 years for felony when you're trying to lie under the oath. There was no pool of blood because we don't. There was a superficial wound. There was no external wound that there was stabbing or things like that. So we have evidence of the cloth in question. The cloth in question will be used as an evidence if this proceeds to trial. That's one. So for him to lie that he saw a pool of blood, we are waiting. 7 years is waiting. For 15 years for him bearing the evidence, 15 years for that. 6 months for him not getting an authorization from the local government that has the governor's authorization or the president's own for him to bury in an unmarked grave. We have 15 plus 7 plus 6 months. Now we have Section 117 of the Criminal Code Act in Nigeria. Perjury. Any person who in any judicial proceeding or for the purpose of instituting any judicial proceeding knowingly gives false testimony touching any matter which is material to any question, then spending in that proceedings or intended to be raised in that proceeding is guilty of an offense which is called perjury. It is immaterial whether the testimony is given an oath or under any other sanction authorized by law, whether it's by newspaper, whether it's by press. If you lie, even if it is not under oath, if you lie, it is still called perjury. The forms and ceremonies used in administering the oath or in otherwise binding the person giving the testimony to speak the truth are immaterial if he assents to the forms and ceremonies actually used. It is immaterial whether the false testimony is given orally or in writing. It is immaterial whether the court or tribunal is properly constituted or is held in the proper place or not. If it is actually acts of as a court or tribunal in the proceeding in which the testimony is given, it is immaterial whether the court who gives the testimony is a competent witness or not, or whether the testimony is admissible in the proceeding or not. The offender cannot be arrested without warrant. Section 118 of the Criminal Code Act Nigeria. Any person who commits perjury is liable to imprisonment for 14 years. If the offender commits the offense in order to procure the conviction of another person for an offense punishable with death or with imprisonment for life, he is liable to imprisonment for life. So we have two choices: 14 years or imprisonment for life. In this case, it is a case in which they are saying that Wunmi spied her husband, and for you to spy somebody, that is a first degree murder. This is punishable with death in Nigeria. And if you are committing perjury just because you are lying for the person to be to face the capital punishment, your punishment for such perjury is imprisonment for life. Now my question is this to my panelists, and this goes first to Pythagoras. We have listed we know and we have evidences for that Mr. Loba has been committing. Wunmi has kept silent all this while, and we are now at the edge of dragging her that she must use her legal team to ensure that this does not go unnoticed. We can't be here for 7 to 8 months talking at the top of our lungs and she just watching us because this man is her father-in-law. She wants to, I have a son, I don't want him to grow up and know that, oh, I did this to his grandfather and this, that. We say we don't want that. We want the son to grow up and say, Mommy, thank you for not being a coward. My question now to Pythagoras is this. The 15 years for deposition of for bearing Mohbad, the evidence, the 7 years for lying, felony charges, the 6 months for burying in an unmarked grave, and the imprisonment for life, or 14 years for perjury. Are these terms to run concurrently, or they will be handled as a single offense? That's my question to you, sir.
Usually they will have to run concurrently if they are being charged or if all the charges are brought together. But that doesn't stop the state from charging him after he has finished a particular sentence, that's just sentence. That doesn't stop them from charging him for another crime they feel he has committed, or they can prove that he has committed, and he will then serve the jail time for that. So if now we have enough evidence that this man has committed an offense and is going for 15 years, if upon conviction and serving his state after serving his jail time, they can now maybe have an evidence now comes up and is now being charged for another crime again. That will not stop them. All what they cannot do is charge him for the same crime at a separate time, because that will become what we call double jeopardy. But if it comes to light that he's committed another offense, or even a previous offense that we had no evidence of, if the evidence now comes to light, they can still charge him for it after serving any other jail time he might have served.
But Pythagoras, you can still add to what I've said, and I don't know if you could also encourage Wunmi that it is right for her to take the bull by the horns, because enough of all this my father-in-law. It's Mrs. Aloba again. We want the Adebanjo. Please, over to you, sir.
Yes, most people would know my stand from the beginning. I keep saying it in a subtle way, like someone comes to your house and they sit down in your living area because your door was open, and they keep going through your stuff and all that until you take a step to curb the actions, until you take a step to stop them, leg a step to stop them. then in a way they have not committed an offense until that moment. So the onus is on whoever has been aggrieved to take action. Now I'm putting it directly. The onus is on Wunmi to stand up now and fight for your rights, and fight on behalf of your child, and fight on behalf of the public. Because Josie Aloba has now turned himself to a menace to the society. And before I go further, let me add another 3 years to that. I don't know the count now, to the J term. Under section 48 of the same corona system of Lagos State. I don't know, I think I've heard it somewhere where he took the body to the mortuary. If that's true, section 48 subsection 6 of the corona system law of Lagos State states that it's an offense for you to take a body that has died other than that specified by the chief medical examiner of Lagos State. And if you are found guilty under this, you have 3 years term with no option of fine. So somebody can add that to whatever figure we have added up before. So if you do that, that's another 3 years for you. And somebody might be asking, we're saying 15 years with no option of fine for disposing a body. That there was the meaning of disposal. Because we might say maybe the law terms are vague, or they can be interpreted in other ways. That same law, corona system law of Lagos State, if you go down towards the ending part, section 58, the title of that section 58 is called interpretation. They know there might be some term you might not understand. They have now put some interpretation there. I think the third one there is burial. And the definition of a burial is saying disposal of a corpse or human remains by deposition in the ground. So if section 48 is telling you that anybody who commits chemical preservation, dismemberment, or disposal of a body, that word disposal of the body, if it's still confusing to you, now link it up with that section 58 where you have burial, which says disposal of the corpse or the human remains by burying it in the ground. Is that what was done to Mohbad? Yes. So that section 48 has prescribed a 15 years jail term for anybody who carries that act. And also there's what we call undue influence and duress in law. Because he might want to add under the fact that he points to the place, he gave instructions. That is like you conducting the act itself. Regardless of you procuring somebody to dig the ground, regardless of you telling somebody, move this from here to that, you gave the instruction, and because you have influence over these people, you have put them under undue duress. So whatever act, whatever thing anybody might want to term crime or association they have done in that regard, because you were the one giving this instruction and you have this influence over them, they will be absolved of any form of crime you might think they've committed in that particular act. And everything comes back to your table. You gave the instruction, you have the influence, you took charge, and at your discretion, they were operating. So 15 years plus 3 years of taking it to the mortuary, if he actually did that, and 6 months for burying it in a place not designated by the Lagos State, or not getting approval, burying him in a residential area. That's another 6 months there. So all this together, the sad part is that yes, he's going to serve them concurrently. If he's charged if the evidence was brought to court and charged for all these things together, he will serve them concurrently, so he'll probably serve the highest one there, maybe 15 years. But now going back to Wumi, it is time you take action, because great crimes, grievous crimes have been committed and has been spearheaded by this man, Josie. It is time you take the bold step. It is time you put on the boxing glove. Because taking away your rights, he has broken into your home, broken into your privacy, taking stuff. He had no right to do all this. But he has taken it upon himself to do all these things. It is now left for you to either decide if you are going to give him a pass on this. Meanwhile, you need to know that if you give him a pass for this, then he's going to get a pass for every other atrocities he might have committed. It is no longer a playing time. It's now time for you to let them know, to let the whole world know, you need to enforce the rights of Mohbad. He's entitled to a dignified burial. He's entitled to own dignity even after death. And you can enforce that right for him. It is in your place to enforce that right on behalf of Liam. So it's not just about what is convenient for you this time around. Yeah, it might not be convenient for you to come out against your father-in-law this way. It might not be convenient for you. But for the sake of posterity, for the sake of history, for the sake of other women passing through this kind of predicament, you need to stand up now and act. Also talking about perjury, counseling somebody to fabricate information, to lie under oath, is also an offense on its own. Within that section 117 to 120. It's not just the person committing the perjury. It's not just the person who went to court and said, oh, I'm sorry I lied under oath. No, sorry will not cut it. Also, whoever might have gotten themselves involved in coaching you, in counseling you, say this, while knowing those are false statements, they are also as guilty as you are under the law. And the same time applies to everybody who has participated in this act of perjury. So we have now moved beyond knowing what killed Mohbad. We are now at the stage of knowing what people have done and bringing them to book on their acts during the life, the death, and after death of Mohbad. They need to be called to question. Those who have committed offenses, we need to write petition against them. And the only person that can spear that is you, Wumi. Wumi Aloba. That is you. You will be the one to spearhead this, all this petition, all this action, so that this kind of thing does not continue to happen in our society. It is about time we put a stop to all this. Thank you, guys.
Okay, over to you. Please let other people to comment, please.
Yeah, I'll take it from the top. Freedom, are you there? Okay.
Yes, I am. But what I actually just wanted to ask, I think, is what Pythagoras mentioned. Because I know in the case of the other camp, we have people who call themselves concerned citizen, taking up actions, filing, writing petition on behalf of Mr. Aloba. And I'm just thinking, what if, is it possible that in our place we also have people who come out to do same thing? Yes, we only need her to sign wherever it's necessary. Is it doable? Pythagoras.
Yeah, it is doable, and that's why I said eventually she'll still be the one to spearhead it because most of these things, our consent is required, our signature is required, our go-ahead is required. Otherwise, it will be dead on arrival.
Okay, so all we need is to get her to consent and be a party to this, because if our legal team are not ready, can we constitute something on our own part, like a group and whatever? Because yes, there's no way she can do this all by herself in terms of finances and all. So wherever we need to come in at this point, we should just do that and set the ball rolling. I was on the other platform now, just snooping, and I'm hearing them saying they should fire on all cylinder. I mean, if people who are already down, totally down to this point, still want to fire at what cylinder, I don't know, then we are the aggrieved should not sleep. We should wake up and start getting things done. Thank you.
Thank you, Freedom. Dupsy, are you there? Yeah.
Thank you. I think Mr. Pythagoras has said most of the things. Wunmi needs to get up now, stand up like a warrior. She needs to buckle herself up and start to fight. She needs to get up first before others will follow. The likes of Darusha and the rest, to whatever they have, they start putting it out so that people can know that this man is really, really lying on them. If Wunmi keeps silent now, that means it's not going to be easy for her, because Mr. Aloba wants to put her in prison for nothing about. So Wunmi, my advice to you now is to get up. Stand up for yourself and your son. Stand up for other widows too. Stand up now and make the necessary effort to bring Mr. Aloba to book. He has done so much, and this needs to stop now. So you need to stand up. That's what we have. What we are telling you now. She needs to be a fighter now. No more crying. No more weeping. No more mourning. Get up on your feet now. It is now or never. If you don't do it now, Mr. Aloba is ready to put you in. Put that at the back of your mind. The fight now. He said, so take it off from there for me. I tell him to. I may not be. I think that's what you need to do now. My take.
Can I quickly ask?
Took care.
Right, okay. 1 minute.
Yeah. Duspi just said that, okay, she should rise up, which I agree with. What I just wanted to add is whether or not she's initiating the fight, she will still have to be fighting, because as it is, this man is not resting anytime soon. So why not be the one initiating the fight? Because he is still fighting. He said so. That's it.
Thank you. Benevolence, are you there?
Yeah. Firstly, if you don't do anything concerning what your father-in-law is doing, is more or less giving a blank check to somebody to keep on trampling on you. Because I don't see an end to whatever Josie is doing. Because he feels he's a bully and he can ride on you, he can trample on your right. And the more you keep quiet, the more power you are giving to him and his supporters. So it is high time you actually take the bull by the horn. And also, apart from those charges they count, you can sue him for defamation of character for all the interviews he has granted, because he granted those interviews online for the whole public to hear. And those are one of the things about defamation of character. If you publish it or you say it on live, for the sole purpose to defame somebody is defamation of character. And I also advise you to try the law. For the court to give you the right to give your husband a proper burial. You have the right. You are a legal wife to your husband. You have the whole right over Josie to bury your husband in the proper way. Enough of your father-in-law using your husband's corpse to garner sympathy and to garner fund for himself. Enough of it. Enough. So please, Omawumi, it is high time you stand up. Don't listen to, oh, is your father-in-law, is your da. This man doesn't give a hoot about you, about Liam. So if you think that he has put on the boxing glove, the same right he has is the same right you yourself. Forget about maybe he's older than you, because I know Africans, they will say, oh, Agbalagba can do this, the younger one cannot do this. Enough of that. It's high time you stand up for yourself because of prosperity's sake. Because all those that have heard about it, that if you don't stand up for yourself, it's like you've admitted to all what Josie has said. And those that have listened to what he has said, it's until you fight back that they can actually get a clarity. So you need to fight for your future and the future of your child. So that is all I have to say.
Thank you. Chobimi.
Yes, I'm just going to quickly say a few things. Okay, so yeah, everybody has said well. And among me, I hope you are listening to what each and everybody has been saying and I've told you. I will use President's word, President Ani Majepopai, because among me, your father-in-law is not stopping anytime soon. He's still going to keep going because people are still giving him money. People trust him to bring you down. And that is, you know, his target. You know, that's his target. You know, he wants to bring you down, wants to bring Liam down. Even if you are saying, okay, you're not doing it for yourself, but for the sake of Liam, you want Liam to be able to stand up tall. You want Liam to be able to read that, oh yes, my mom really, really fought this battle. My mom fought for me. My mom stood by me. If anything happens to you today, nobody, you know, it's not a story that we have to keep telling you. You can see how much that all these people that are against you, we're standing by you, not because that we have the power, but by the grace of God. But now, among me, you have to stand up for yourself. We are doing what we can, but you have to be at the front line now. You have to start putting everything together. Josie is not even thinking. The money that he's getting is getting into his head so bad. He doesn't want the money to stop anytime soon. You have to stand up. You have to fight for yourself. You have to fight for Liam. You have to fight for the death of your husband. Josie has done. What else will he do to you? He has taken all the rights that you have from you. He has tried to mock you in the presence of the whole world. It deprived you of that one thing that you're supposed to do for your husband. Get the autopsy done the way and the right way it should be done. Bury him the right way that it should be done. So that Liam can always go there and see, this is where my father was being buried. So that you can, you know, when you bury someone in a very nice way, you have the last picture. But the picture you're going to have now, you cannot have the good picture of Mohbad anymore. You have to fight for his dead soul. This man, the same thing kò lè jẹ́ máyé Josie ti jẹ́ ayé tó máa jẹ ó dẹ̀ ń jẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọ́n dẹ̀ ń fún jẹ but Wunmi, you cannot ò lè jẹ́ kí Josie jẹ́ máyé mọ́. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Thank you, Chobimi. Mommy Yemishitu, you have 1 minute, please. Okay. Mr.
I'm here.
We have other things that we need to quickly talk about. You can go on with your submission.
I appreciate everyone that has talked so far, and I want to address my talk to Wumi. Wumi, if you are here or you are going to hear this later, please and please and please, as everyone has said, stand up and take your rightful place, rightful position. Please, Wumi, we are calling on you, even as your lovers. You know, God has used so many wonderful people to stay with you, to back you up. Please don't throw it all our efforts. See what Mr. Dawah has gone through. See the wealth of knowledge Pythagoras has been able to share this afternoon. Please don't throw all this our effort. Don't throw it back at our face. Don't let them say, you understand? Please take up and do the right thing. Go to the police station. It doesn't cost you anything. You are a citizen of Nigeria. If you need any money, people are there to assist you. Please do the rightful one. You know, you call on your late husband spirit to not to mass, not to sleep. Of course, it's not sleeping. That is why everyone, all of us are behind you now. It's because your husband is not sleeping. You understand? But your husband cannot come in person because it's not a ghost. You understand? So he has used so many people to be fighting your battle. So you have to stand up. So you have to stand up and do the right thing. People are behind you. You understand? Even Josie, that is even fighting a blind battle, he was still standing up. He was still standing up. Despite the fact that the whole world knows that what he was doing was not the right thing. Not to talk of you that has all, not only you and Liam. So that is the two of you are the only family that Mohbad left behind. Please, so you can your son, if you are not doing it for yourself, do it for your son. So Liam can have free access to walk freely. You know, when his accuser has been put behind the bar, so people will see that indeed this man is the one, and the Josie is the one that is at fault. So give your son the freedom to walk freely, either in Nigeria or anywhere in the world. Please do the right thing, and I'm calling on the Nigerian government. Please, we need the arrest of Joseph Aloba. Nigerian government, if you are hearing me, please, we need the arrest of Joseph Aloba. Joseph Aloba bring down our government, our Nigerian government, our police. He has brought them down. He has painted them in black color to the whole world. Please, we need you, our government, to call on the arrest of Joseph Aloba. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Please, I'd just like to pass some information before we go on. Please, if anyone has said any submission that we want to give, we can just say, seconded by second so person, and just give about 1 or 2 lines so that we can save time to do other things. Thank you very much. Mr. Dawah, are you there?
Oh, yes, I'm here. Thank you, everybody. Pythagoras, thanks for the wealth of knowledge. Now, I don't want the session to be too long. We've actually used 3 hours here. Let's just remind people of the part 2 of this discussion. There's going to be a part 2. Inshallah, it will be tomorrow. After church, I'm thinking between the hours of 4:15 West African time, that's 4:15 Nigerian time, and 6:15 p.m., 2 hours, so that we'll round off everything. Now for tomorrow, what is actually the truth about that voice note that has been trending? What actually happened? What's the truth surrounding this? We have to treat it. Some people said they had a fight. Don't they have a fight? Blah, blah, blah. Some people say that. Is that actually true? Was that actually what happened? So we're going to treat that in total tomorrow. We're also going to treat some misconceptions, some narrations that Baba is just accepting any conspiracy anyhow. When the issue of Bailegushi came up, we knew he was also saying that Kosi Obakoni Dili Aloba, there's no the Aloba lineage has no king. It was said that also in Yeyekudi's platform. So many things were said about the Obelegushi. The issue of will or no will, he went to a TVC station. He was this issue was actually narrated at first by by Arifa himself, that there was a will, there was a thumbprint, they were thumbprinting, blah blah blah. Not until the lawyer of Mohbad sued him heavily and he stopped that narration. Now, the issue of death certificates, there was a death certificate written, the likes of Papriano saying from the Commissioner of Police statement, there was a death certificate issued, and then they came up, it was with Wunmi, it was not. Now, not until Gurexi said it was actually with the lawyer of Mohbad. Now there are so many conspiracies about the CCTV, as in the Canadian visa, and they parked at Third Milan. They wanted to throw Liam out. As in so many, there was a Spider-Man inside the Jeep that was holding the baby, using his leg to control, one of his legs to control the door, another hand to control the other door. He's using his neck to control the steering. You understand all these conspiracies? So why are we having all these conspiracies? We're going to discuss about them tomorrow. We're also going to talk about this issue. What evidence do we have? What evidence has Mohbad provided that he had sex with his wife multiple times? Are we going to show you a sex tape? Wait for tomorrow. Between the hours of 4:15 p.m. and 6:15 p.m., we're going to treat the remaining part of this faja, the remaining part of we calling Wunmi out, that you have to come out. Come out. We're not saying you should come out to social media. Go and meet your lawyers. We want petitions flying here and there. Let there be sanity on social media. Let everybody know the weight of the law. All the people that have defamed you, that had said Apokojaye, they will have to come out and bring their evidence. One fool said he had your sex tape. Is it true? Is there actually a sex tape out there? Just because of what? Coins, lions, followers? We want to know. We want to know the truth. Wunmi, and the only way the truth can be established are when people start apologizing to you. We are sorry. We are sorry for lying. And you're going to find them heavily, that they are going to pay through their noses. That is what we want. We don't want this issue of the Corona Inquest. That's the only clue we have. No, we want clues flying every week. People coming, turning on their camera. Yes, we want people deported. Yes, we want that. We want people deported. That people that they will say rubbish and Interpol will go and arrest them. We want issues that people that don't even have, that are, they went for visiting. They are now looking for, what do they call them? Asylum seeking. Their visas have expired, and they are now looking for asylum seeking in a foreign land. Now they will want to say they are being dragged by local people, by people in Nigeria, or they have mental issues. That is why they do one-on-one. I don't know how to. Sorry, Dukia, what is one-on-one in English?
Restlessness.
Yeah.
Restlessness.
Yeah. One-on-one.
Please kindly subscribe to my channel,
if I'm restless, I'll say one-on-one.
so that anytime I'm having anything to show you, be able to be the first to be notified.
Okay, so that is, I believe that is what the likes of Confi
A
wants
help
to do.
Condition me.
Do you have your legal documents staying in Germany, or where are
Ever
you?
me subscribe,
Do you have your legal
please.
documents to stay there? But you're trying to prove insanity. You're trying to act as if you are mentally unstable. That is what I see you to do. You saw the likes of your cohorts.
Vivian Awele.
Lying.
Sorry, I can't have you now. Until after, if you have anything to say, you can call him
to say something.
Who would want to be a shorty to such a situation? Who? Because they know that the next thing that person is going to do is to run away. Who? Who would present his landed properties as a shorty for such a person that will just bring up the ring lights of 9,000 naira? I've been saying something. Igbo men, please, because of this justice for Mohbad, increase the price of ring lights and all this kind of microphone and things like that. At least it will bring some sanity to social media.
It's very cheap now. Anybody can afford it.
Her cohort,
That's why it's in one on
she has stopped talking about the Oba. Why? Because she knew that was a lie. She knows. There are some people, even in Baba's team, they know the truth, but they've gone so far and they know that their profile is just out there. Look at the likes. Look at what I played lastly, the video I played last year about Perkins abusing York. Say, if Arifa comes back, how is he going to come back when you've taken his position? Is it a thing of position? It is not a thing of the position. There are better speakers out there. Take the likes of Pythagoras, Brother Oluwatosin, Otumba, King Sheriff, very good. Konibaje, Abati, very good speakers. I'm not talking about men. Say women, what's your boju? I don't want to name so that I won't start offending people. I won't start offending people, no. But they are very intelligent and people will come and go. Barack will remain. It is not a matter of position when it comes to justice for Mohbad. It's a matter of you saying the truth. Escapade, yeah. It's a matter of people saying the truth. I'd like to round off here, but let us just know that the stupidity of someone is a right of that person. Everybody has a right to be stupid. People bringing out narrations here and there, don't blame them. If they are not stupid, the word stupid will never be existing in a lexicon, in a dictionary. Just leave them, let them express it. And there are medicines to stupidity, and that is why we are here to correct that stupidity. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for the time. We've used 3 hours, 15 minutes. Thanks a lot for listening to us. And my panelists, thank you, everybody. And let's hear from everybody their closing statements so that new sets of panelists can come up and discuss on what we have discussed in the show. Don't forget, 4:15 tomorrow. That's 25 hours from now. Yeah, 25 hours from now. We're going to continue with the part 2. So, my dear panelists, over to you, sirs. Amma.
Thank you, Mr. Dawah. Thank you very much. Does anyone have any other thing to say?
No, I just want to say a very big thank you to everybody. For everybody for standing by the truth, because the truth is not popular, but despite the number that we are not like as much as they have, we still stand by the truth. I pray that whatever it is that we are looking for in this movement, that we'll get it at the end. So a very big thank you to everybody. Very, very big thank you.
Thank you, Benevolence. Does anyone else have something to say?
Yes, thank you, Dukia. In just adding to what everyone has said, it has been a nice morning here with this discussion. And on a rounding up note, there's this Latin maxim that says, volenti non fit injurias, meaning no harm is done to somebody who consented to it. That's like an interpretation of it. Meaning, if you put yourself in harm's way, you cannot come back complaining. Also meaning, if you allow things pass, you cannot, and you don't do anything about it, people are going to assume you are okay with it. And that's going to Wumi and going to everybody passing through this kind of difficulty. Speak up, rise up. Because until you do that, people are just going to keep having a free day with you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pythagoras.
Do we have any other thing to say? Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Mr. Dawah and all the panelists. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for all that you have done. I pray God will help us all. I will not say such occurrence in the name of Jesus. Thank you all, and God bless. Wow, a very big thank you to everyone that has commented, spoke on the platform, analyzed, discussed. Massive thank you to you all. Please stay tuned tomorrow, 4:15 to 6:15. We're going on the part 2 of this wonderful analysis. And I want everyone to come prepared with their pen and paper, jot down all the notes, and so we can have a very brilliant discussion.
Sorry, Dukia, before I go down, please, before we come up, you can see our gentlemen and women, they are actually very intelligent. And the only way you can motivate us is if you keep the likes going up. If we see the likes going up, yes, we'll be motivated, we'll not be flagged, and the live will just be very interesting. So before we come up or start the show tomorrow, please keep the likes to the nearest 100,000. If you are at 20,000, make sure that it gets to 100,000. If you're at 101,000, make sure it gets to 200,000. If you're at 284, make sure it gets to 300,000 before we come up and start the discussion. Thank you very much, everybody. Duke Olua, you're a wonderful moderator. Thanks for your time. And it's adios from Dark Class. Thank you all. And to the gifters, thanks a lot. Thanks for that.
Thank you, Mr. Dawah. See you tomorrow, 4:15 to 6:15 p.m. Hosts, are you there? About a round of applause.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that tomorrow by 4:15 you'll be able to join us.
Good day, sir.
Subscribe and like. A help will condition me.
He's been so patient enough. She's been so patient. She's such a wonderful woman that control herself, that respected her husband so dearly, and I really want that justice that we could all see. She has never come out to say anything that, that she doesn't have any evidence or any proof of. So now this is the time. I mean, it's so disheartening listening to what Joseph Aloba has been saying, and we could all see that it's not that maybe he's saying what people are saying out there. It looks and it's, I mean, I'm very, very sure that he's part of those people fabricating all those, all those narratives, and they just have to put it out there, and he has to champion it. And I think this is the time to, to get up and do what is right. And I believe the right thing will be done. So I am just here to appreciate everyone for their contributions, and you guys have really spoken well, and we've learned a lot. And I believe the right thing will be done. So looking forward to tomorrow by the special grace of God. So thank you all. God bless.
Thank you, Tim Maga. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 4:15 at a time. Please tell someone to tell someone. God bless us all. Justice we shall get. In Jesus' name. Okay. AOB.
Hi, Sister Duke, I'm here.
and I would love to just say one or two things. Can I go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. I've been with you all in spirit, and I've been listening. I'm just rounding up at work, and I'm on my way back home now. I think I finished at the right time. Mr. Dawah, thank you very much. Pythagoras, Sister Befemi, Chubimi, everybody, commenters, you all did perfectly and amazing today. I'm happy and I'm impressed with the way we are going about it. And I'm happy I'm not the only one saying it's time to talk, because I don't have to deny the fact that I was on Omomi yesterday and I was like, this is the time. If you are not talking now, we are getting tired already. This is just the time. This is the right time. If you are not coming out, we are not saying you should come to our platform. We are not saying you should go to platform or social media. This is just the right time. We want you to talk and take actions. Not even about talking alone, but action needs to be taken. And I'm sure she can see the way I was feeling yesterday and the way I was really, 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 really on top of my voice for the first time. Because I feel like, yes, it's high time we stop piling up evidences, just hiding them, just having them in our cupboard and our phone. In fact, my phone is hanging already. I don't think I want to have more evidences. The one we have already, it's okay for us to make the move. And now is the time. Hey, my father-in-law, I don't want my son to grow up to hear the story. Your father-in-law doesn't care about you. He doesn't care. We try to see maybe he will like change his ways and come back to his to behave like a true father-in-law. But we noticed that he had a lot of help, he had a lot of people pushing him to the wrong path. And it's so unfortunate for him that he's not seeing it as a wrong path. Instead, he's coming out also to give us that voice and telling us the battle line has been drawn. So we want to let him know that, yes, our Gomo Akiniwa Kin Shojo. Omo Akiniwa Ao Shojo. In terms of financial, bring it on. We don't need to come out and say, prove fundraising or GoFundMe. No, we don't need GoFundMe before we make the move. So we know what is right. We've just been cool and calm and seeing it as is a family thing, and we won't be happy for the family to be totally destroyed. But with what we've seen so far, the other party don't care. They don't even care if Josie has to lose everybody, even lose all his children. They don't care. All they want is the loyalty they've signed with Josie. They are much concerned about the 30-40, the 70-30, the 30-100, the 30-30-30, the percentage is all they care about. And it's so unfortunate that Josie is not seeing it, that they are only fighting for their pockets and not really fighting for his son. As far as we are concerned, they are not fighting for his son. Rather, they are fighting for their own pocket, their selfish interests. So now, Omomi, you've heard from your people. This is not about Amy alone. You've heard from all. It's the right time. This is just the time. When we lose this time, we might not get it again. These people are really working. They are really coming out to defame your character. They don't even care about how you feel. They don't even care if you sleep and not wake up the next morning. You care so much about them, but it's just unfortunate that they don't care about you. This is the time. It's either we take the move now or we drop it. You know, I told you yesterday, it's either we take the move or we drop it. A lot of us has been bashed. We've been dragged. Our family has been dragged here and there. And at this point, everybody's vibrating and everybody's ready to fight. And we are ready to take the horn on his head. We, the concerned citizen, if you don't make that move, I'm telling you now, we, the concerned citizen, we will make the move. And when we make the move, you need to come out. You should know that. You need to come out. We have our own evidences to fight. We don't have to sign any percentage. We don't want it. We don't want it. And we are ready to fight. This is just the time. We've been waiting for autopsy, toxicology. At the end of it, it's a no-no. So now it's time to fight. So everybody, thank you so much. In fact, I'm so happy because I've been feeling like Jamie nìkan ni mo wá lọ pa kúrú mọ́mọ́ mi lánàá tó yá o àsìkò ti tó ti sú wa o àwa náà fẹ́ jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pa àwa náà mọ̀yàn alẹ́sẹ̀ alẹ́nu apọ̀ pọ̀. Cover body no join body. If you join body, you collect. We are small, but we are mighty. We need to let them know. Harris has been making mouth. A lot of them have been doing and no show. I will call the music. It's time to fight, and we are ready to fight. The battle line has been drawn just as I have said it. We are coming out with a lot of evidences. We have videos of him having his hair on. We have videos of Lord, Baba, you share video. Evidence, wow. And at the time by the time we are dropping those evidences, please don't come up with that denying method. Because my heart come. I'm not trying to scare you all away, but it's just to let you all know how you do. About the DNA, high time. But we have to take that fight first, then we move from there. Ṣebí DNA lẹ́fẹ́, ẹ máa gba DNA, ẹ má worry. Ẹ máa gba DNA, ẹ má gbómọ́. Àsìkò yẹn ti ń súnmọ́ bọ̀. Àsìkò yẹn ti tó. Ojú agbamilade. If you know you can't fight, drop. Now, ó dà pé láti 2 weeks ago ni mo ti ń sọ. A ti wà lójú agbami o. Èèyàn tó bá mọ̀ ọ̀wẹ́, ó ṣe kí ni? Ó bọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ bọ́lẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. So, I want to appreciate everybody that have spoken this morning. In fact, I'm impressed. I'm happy. And I'm not regretting the fact that I've been on this case for months now. I'm taking all the blames. I'm taking all the bashing. I'm taking all the wrong narrative. I'm taking all the defamation of character, being called thief and everything. But now, I want the world to see it. That I'm not, and I will never be any of those things they've called me or labeled me. It's time to fight. Come on, me. I know you done the year now. Not be me and you. The battle line has been drawn. Thank you, everybody. We move. So tomorrow, I will be available from the beginning of the program to the end. Today, I'm sorry. But yeah, Michelle, because not láti máa rówó ẹjọ́ náà kí ló ń ṣe yín. Ṣáà ní lọ ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè wówó ẹjọ́ jọ ni. À ń sáré ṣe overtime. À ń ṣàwó ẹjọ́ jọ ni o. Ẹjọ́ o. Àwọn olówó o. But kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀? Ìwọ̀nba ta ní. Àbá dìyín lọ́wọ́. If we hold na blood go dry. So we move. Tomorrow, Mr. Dawah, we'll be expecting you. Sister Befemi, my darling sister, I love you. You know I got you always. Dukia Olua, my humble moderators, Cindy, Liberation, Bella and Isse, Ayofemi on Chobi me, commenters, Mogbe Funyo. I love you all. Me o worry me o woju phone me o gbogbo yin te ba ti bú mi. Ọlọ́run rí yín o, bí n tiẹ̀ rí yín o. So to everybody, I appreciate you. God bless you. I will be doing the clapping and the cheers, everything together right now. So ẹ jẹ́ bá mi gbà. Gbogbo yín tẹ́ ti sọ̀rọ̀ ni mo fún o. To my boo boo, to my baby boo boo. Ọwọ́ méjì o. Ẹ bá mi bẹ̀ ọkọ mi kó gbà mí wọlé padà o. Mi ní ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́. I love you. Tima, I love you, sir. Ọ̀túnba, ẹ ṣé o mi ní ṣe gbogbo. Kí ló dé? Ẹ ti sọ̀rọ̀ látàárọ̀, kí ló dé? Ṣé bàbá mi kẹ́ gbọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu mi ni Olúwa ṣàánú mi? Gbogbo àwọn tó ń gbógun tì mí ti jà fáwọn tó ń bá mi jà, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ bọ̀?
Ẹ má jẹ́ èwo ni love, kí ló dé?
I'm a petition you. Ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ jọ́bí mi, kí ló dé? Ṣọ́rọ̀ yín sí mi ni? Ẹ jáwọ́ lọ́rọ̀ mi. Ènìyàn ni mí, èmi ò mà lágbára. I love everybody. You know as you run now. Maybe until we do camera down, our love, natural love. If you have a need, you are going to tell me, allow me to talk. Kí ló dé? Olúwa gbà mí lọ́wọ́ woman yìí, mo ti sọ fún yín pé mo fẹ́ ta àwọn èèyàn o. Wọ́n ti pé mẹ́ta báyìí o. President àyànfẹ́ Chobi me for sale. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mi ní gbowó, ọ̀fẹ́ ni mo fẹ́ fi wọ́n tọrẹ. Ẹ má bọ̀dá mi ní charge yín. ẹ ṣe gan gbogbo èèyàn o àwọn ò ní láti ṣe kámẹ́rà dá ìfẹ́ tiwa ìfẹ́ àdàbà ni ìfẹ́ àtọ̀run wá ni ẹlẹ́dàá ló yọ wá papọ̀ ọ̀yà oníyàwó o ìfẹ́ èjì òwúrọ̀ ní títí wa lórí platform yìí so we all roll in love and that is the koko the candle that bound the love kò ní jó tán o ó máa tàn sí ní olágbára
òun ló ti sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ mi ní comment section yẹn ó tàn yín ẹ tà
ní ó tán. comment section ó fẹ́ tà ó dàbọ̀. All right, Saduki, I'm over mute and say, Tibaduki, Matusara. Thank you.
ẹ ṣe host wa tó ṣọ federal ní
celebration èmi mọ̀ ẹ̀yin tẹ́lẹ̀ èmi mọ̀ yín bẹ́ẹ̀ láti ju ara yín
àti wà ní agbo fàájì báyìí ẹ máa bọ̀ lókè ẹ̀yin èèyàn.
ẹ jọ tí n bá dókè mo fẹ́ àwọn orin kan wà tání láti play ṣọ́bí mi tẹ́ bá ráyè kọ́kọ́ bá fún wa lẹ́bi ní zeri let's for this program today àná ó yẹ ká láwọn ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe for like 20-30 minutes ẹ jọ so they will go back again by then àmàní ìta máa sọ ẹ hàn ó ti lọ fàáfàá o tẹ́ bá wo gbogbo social media báyìí ní platform ló ń jẹ lọ́wọ́ báyìí.
federal ní sẹ́ẹ̀.
wọ́n jẹ́ wọn kò jẹ́.
tèmi ní sẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n máa bínú kù ní.
báwo èèyàn bá bẹ́ wọn sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká tó káwọn yẹn ṣe lọ fàáfà ẹ ṣe o.
ẹ ṣe host wa ẹ má bínú orí ẹ yé bínú orí owó ọ̀tẹ̀ you know it's just a pity. What a day ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká máa wá sókè lẹ́yìn kọ̀ọ̀kan ó yá tí bèbí ẹ máa send request níbẹ̀ ká máa gbé yín wọlé ẹ máa wọlé kanlẹ̀.
ẹ wọlé sókè ẹ wọlé kanlẹ̀.
wọlé pẹ̀lú change yín o.
àwọn lọ́bìsì mi dà
júmi dà tí bèbí júmi wá pè orin fún wa o.
ìfẹ́ we are all of you.
Thank you very much for watching me. I think I have to go now. I'll be back later for another update. I don't want them to start playing music. It will affect my account. I'll be back soon. Thank you. Love you all.